Hi, it's Rosie at RoseByNameCo. Well, today is another day of making journal covers. We're going to be making another journal cover in this video. We just completed one for a client in a Halloween theme, and this one is the second one that she ordered that's going to be in the flower theme. So hence my little flower over here. So it's going to be in the same size of 6.5 by 4.5 and 1.5 inch spine. So I have offered the client a choice of a few of the different fabrics with flowers on them to see what she might be liking, or what is in her head of, what kind of idea she has for this to look like. So I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flower fabric swatches here, and of course I have many more, but again, we're not going to go through everything I have in my whole house, so I choose a few that I like best, and then I will offer that. And so the first one, and now just because I like to go through fabrics and look at fabrics and feel them, the texture and so on, I'm going to show again the part where I'm trying to choose a fabric for the cover. So this one, for example, is a little bit a thicker cotton, almost a little bit canvasy. So with this beautiful beigeish and then a little bit orangish flowers here, a little bit like the Oriental style. So what I do then is, okay, so what I like to do is put the fabric onto the cover and see what that might look like on the cover itself. And so I can see what might end up on the spine, or right here in the front is this beautiful branch. If this isn't chosen, I will probably make another cover similar to this because I've been wanting to use this fabric. It's so beautiful. And on the back as well. So this is certainly one that will look beautiful. And next one, this one is a little bit more maybe traditional in a sense as far as flowers. And if I put that on here, let me see, just for the sake of playing with the fabric a little bit. Okay, so that would look like that. I could pin the fabric down as well, but we're just going to go through this quickly so that I don't need to be wasting too much time with it. And let me see. So this would end up in the front with a little bit of the grayish here and some flowers on the side, and that looks pretty good for me as well. And in the back you get all flowers. Of course you could reverse it and put the all flowers in the front as well, but I sort of like it in the back, and so that in the front there is some room to put a title frame, put some laces and so on, without taking away from these beautiful flowers at the back. So that's another option. And then we have this one. This one is in the yellow, beautiful yellow, greens, blue, purple, spring colors. So let's see what that might look like. So I put it right in here. Let me see. And then you have these as well that might come in the back. I was recommending maybe this be a pocket. Oh, let me see, and this will look beautiful also, with this beautiful purple flower right in the front, and then also some places here to put some laces or something more. And in the back, you're not too taken with the back, because for me I like the front to be the focus and the back secondary, but you do have some nice green leaves on it, but also spaces for laces or whatever else you might want to put on there. So there's this one. This one is also a little bit thicker. I'm not too great at the names of types of fabric and such, but I just know what's a little bit thicker and what's a little bit a thinner cotton. So for this one, let's say we put it on this way. And look at it like this. Okay. Now in the back of this one, so this is, I didn't wrap this one very well, did I? Let's try again. Like that, I guess. Would help me, I suppose, if I had the little clips. Do I have them here? I'm not sure. Let me see. Actually, I do. So let's try. This one is a little bit thicker, so a little bit harder to wrap around without gluing it down. So I'm just going to do this with it. And then let's try that. Okay, that's a little bit better. So we have all flowers in the front, and then a little bit of space in the back, so not as important or prominent as the front. But definitely you can put laces over top to tone this down. It has a lot of pinks and so on, so also very springy like journal with different greens and pinks and blues even, and so on. It's also very pretty. Sorry about that. And last but not least is this one with a little bit lighter colors. Now let me see which one might go to the front. Let's try with this one. Okay, so we're just gonna go like this and see what this might look like. Let me just put it a little bit closer here. Okay. Okay, so this is what this one might look like. It's very nice. I like the peach colors, peach and creams, and overall lighter color. And then you can put your laces this way over here and still have the flowers shown. And on the spine it looks beautiful, and in the back it's not as prominent again as the front, but also very pretty. A little bit more traditional maybe, but you can always adorn it with some more laces and ribbons and so on. So for these, let me see how many, 5 or 6 I have here. So let's see, this was one choice, and then this was a choice, and this one here, purple flower, was a choice. This one with a bit of gray in it, and this oriental looking one that I call it oriental. So these were the choices, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 choices. And I did let the client know and asked her which one she would prefer, because this is custom. So it could be a surprise. If she asked me, let it just be a surprise, and then I would choose. But I let her choose, and she did decide on this one. So this is going to be the cover that we'll be working on. So let's get started. Okay, so just so you know that you saw me cutting this in the previous video of the first cover, but just so you know that is the size that I'm saying here. It is a 4.5 inches by 6.5 inches journal, and the spine is about 1.5 inches. So we are at the point we want to put down the fabric onto this cover, and I'm just going to use my glue stick as usual. Just have some goobers on. Get that off. And so I want to make sure this is the front, and this is going to go on the front here. So now, before I do that, I want to cut this way so I don't end up with too much overhang on that side. And I'm just going to let these fringes stay down on the bottom. I enjoy that, and I like the look of that, so I'm going to leave that there. And then I'm going to just cut just a little bit above the top edge of the cover, and then let this rip. We love that sound. And yes, so I have a piece here that I can use up later, and I have another one that I cut previously from the other sides. They're both very beautiful, and I will see how I will use that up. Now, any kind of threads that come off, of course, we're not throwing that out. We're just collecting these forever and ever into a bin, and then using it every time or every chance that we can. So this is the top, and this is the top. So it's going to go like this. So I like to go from the front to back, so that if I have anything left over and I need to cut, and perhaps you know, something else, something goes wrong, I want that to be at the back, not at the front. So, and usually I think people start at the back and go to the front. Anyhow, that's just me. So I'm just going to put the glue stick on all over, and I am going to put some fabric tech as well at the edges, just to make sure it's adhered well. Of course, we're stuck on here. Okay. Just go right around into the grooves here. Okay. So I'm going to let this come over this way, and I'm going to just maybe push it a little bit to the front, not too much. I want this right into the groove here. You can see that, and a little bit more down. So I'm watching that I position this well, and that it's a bit even, you know, not perfectly so, but to some point or degree even. Okay, so that will be like that, and this seems to be pretty good. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure this is tacked down, glued. Now, if there's, I'm not too concerned with bubbles or anything, but if there's something a little bit bumpy, I will check that out. Probably a little bit of glue. Okay, so I'm going to take that off a little bit, and just make sure that there's enough glue here to hold this down. And inside, if there's some, you know, fabric that is not completely stuck down, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to be sewing over it. I'm going to be putting some laces on top and so on. But if you're concerned, of course, you can always pick it up and add some more glue. And I'm just going to do a little bit of that, not too much. Okay, so put those ridges in that I like. Don't you love this fabric? It's beautiful. It's a little bit canvasy, so it is going to stay on well and be, you know, sturdy throughout the use. And okay, so this is the front. It's pretty good to me. It's going to be sewn down, and the rest here, for the first the stick glue, and then a little bit of this one. Just a little bit like this. Okay, back down. Like I said, I don't usually use the credit card. On a rare occasion, if it's a really thin material, but otherwise, you know, it's a junk journal, and things are just not always completely perfect. So I'm looking at the fringes on the bottom, and just making sure they're about even if I want to post something still a little bit higher, but it seems to be okay. I might trim down a little bit more, but then, you know, once you actually have things in it, you don't see that this one is like a, you know, 1/8 of an inch longer than the other one. It really doesn't matter. So now for this one, it's just going to come over, but I'm not going to glue this down or do anything with this yet, because we're going to leave this open. Normally the inside will still come in, and then I will put this over top of that, so it will look like this. It'll be beautiful, beautiful. And this, I don't think I want to put this over top. I mean, I might, but I think it's just going to go like that. I probably can glue that one down, and then this will come over top here. And then I might also then put a pocket of the same size over here as well. Now here I wanted to keep it more simple because of the purple flower. We want to give that the focus, let that be the focus point. And if I put that over here, it would probably be a bit too much. This would overtake us. This is quite a bit of color and also very beautiful. And so I would leave it in the back, because in the back it's a little bit more plain, as you can see. So this will give it the little lift that maybe the back needs. But so we have more work to do on the front so that we can sew through the journal, if that's what we need to do. I am going to put this down. I don't believe that I need it for any different reason to stay up. So I'm going to tack this one down and just leave it like that. Maybe just trim off a bit of this. Okay. Okay. Well, you know how fringes are. They always want to be the star of the show, and we're forever picking them off. But we'll manage. Okay. So that's this side, and now I'm going to pick out some laces, ribbons, whatever I have that we might put on the front. So that's another fun part. Okay, so change of plans. We want the flowers on both sides to be on the outside of the cover. So because I just glued this and the glue is still forgiving, I was able to just take that off with no problem. And I will put this flower will be at the back of the cover, on the outside of the cover. And so I will join these two pieces that are on the spine, and they're in about the middle of the spine, and cut through and glue down, hopefully, so it stays together. If there's any kind of irregularity, I might put a ribbon right over top and it will fix that issue. So I've started to cut, and I'm just cutting hopefully a little bit more than I need. And then this will go down here. I will probably glue it, and then I will cut on this side and see how much I might need there. Let me see. Now this has a little bit of, do I want this? Does it come all the way? No, it doesn't come all the way. Maybe I want still that on the back as well, instead of the blank piece. Yeah, so let me see if I can cut this first then, and just a little bit over, I think. So there's a tiny piece that is still going to sit underneath this one. Is it about even? Well, I'm gonna find out, right? Let me see. I don't want to end up with completely short fabric, so I'm gonna cross our fingers. Okay, so let's see. It's about equal, maybe a tiny bit over here, but so I would put this underneath. I will glue that here and then glue that over top. And then if I need something, I can still cover it either completely or with something a little bit shorter. I can put ribbon over like that. And well, no one's the wiser, really. That will not be a problem at all. So there we go. I'm going to then glue this part. I'm just going to use the Fabri-Tac right away because we are at the edge here. Okay. Got this down. We're still good there. And now for this part, I'm going to glue this again. And this is also where, because I was using mostly the glue stick, I didn't have to tear anything really. Pretty well everything's intact, except for a couple of pieces. But if I use the harder glue overall, I may not be actually even be able to get that off. So, oh, let me also put some at the edge now. I think I got a big blob over there. I'm going to have to bring that in. Okay, and put that over here. And let me just, I'm going to use my fingers. I know some people don't like using fingers, but I'm okay with it. Okay. So I want this to be, let me see from the other side, a little bit equal still with the other one. So I think a little bit upwards here, not too much. Okay. And we have fringes here, we're good. Now just to straighten it out a bit. Okay, I think we're doing good. And I'm going to put some more glue now. Okay, we're good. So now we have a flower on each side of the cover. And I'm just going to glue down over here as well. A little bit more. And a little bit over here, it looks like, where it's lifting up a bit. Okay. Okay. Now, whether that line is straight, well, I think it's relatively straight. Not having too much of, look at all this. This is what I'm saving on the other side. These are all my threads that come off of different things. And as we know, they like to get in the way. So I was just going to check a little bit here, about an inch, half an inch, a little bit over, and over here about half an inch. So looks like maybe it's over here just a little bit, but we're going to go with that. So I'm just going to trim the fibers here. Okay, otherwise we're good. So we're going to then start playing